Smash. FGC. Two sides of the same coin, some might say. There's always been some tension and heat between the two. Even though they exist side by side, there's still people insisting that the two are completely separate entities and are disgusted by the other.
Get out of my face!
Whether it's FGC calling Smash players simple-minded casuals that play a children's party game and stink, hilariously fresh and comedic angle by the way.
I don't get these guys like Leffan and everyone else who focuses on these games. It's like, it's for 5-year-olds.
Or Smash players dismissing and or disrespecting the legacy and the mechanics of the more conventional fighting games. For example, the Shodo incident.
Bro, Ken with the hat is my new main. I don't care what anyone else says. Man.
Like, Jesus Christ, I thought Smash kids were at least at school and not in daycare eating glue. In recent times, Smash and Tekken have been in contact, most notably when Leffen picked up Tekken for a while, and Nintendo releasing Kazuya in Smash Ultimate. And even if there was a little bad blood at these moments,
correct. Some songs are outright fucking awful.
Kazuya's release did bring these two games a little closer to each other. But what if I said there actually has been a character link between these games all this time? What I'm talking about is Melee Falco and Kazuya. Now I know you might be saying,
this is an embarrassment to the name of gaming and you know it.
But I have actually built a case for this, and I want to serve you this 3-course meal I've cooked up. So let's get into it. Okay, let's get the easy ones out. Falco and Kazuya share some features in terms of appearance. They have the same kind of hairstyle, especially if you look at the later renditions of Falco. Falco also wears a jacket similar to the one Kazuya does in Tekken 2. They both have wings, although weirdly only Kazuya is able to fly with them. They both wear sleek and stylish clothes even when it comes to warfare, and even their color palettes have some similar qualities like beige and white with red details. And blue. Okay, next course. Here we go, bring in the steak. Now as you might know, Kazuya is a part of an archetype called Mishimas that includes 2 other characters. Falco also is a part of a 3-character archetype called Spacies. What's interesting between these groups is that they both have the broody pointy-haired one that has a bit of a defensive playstyle with really good Oki and momentum building, the more aggressive powerhouse with 2 pointy things on their head, and the edgy one that's somewhere in the middle of the two. The Mishimas are connected by their shared moves like the Electric, Hell Sweep, 112, 122, and Wall Standing 4-4, to name a few. What differentiates them are all the other moves built around the Mishima core and some variations to the core too. The Spacies on the other hand are connected by their whole moveset. What's different between them are the properties of the moves, making them wildly different while being basically clones. Now, working from this, we can look at the connecting factors between Falco and Kazuya in more depth. Okay, they can both wave dash, and they can both shoot lasers in varying success, but the most prominent connection between the two definitely is the Electric and the Shine. They both are arguably the best moves in their respective games. They both are fast launchers that are advantageous on block. The Electric is known from its execution demands. If you miss the just frame input, you get the punishable normal Queen Godfist. But what really pumps up the execution is implementing the Electric from and into movement. Electric from block, from wave dash, from sidestep, and from backdash all need to be on point to make the most out of this move. And that's not even all of it. Combos heavily use the Electric to cash out big chunks of damage and require back-to-back electrics. The Shine in these aspects is almost fully comparable. Shine to Wave Dash or Wave Shine is also an execution-heavy technique. If you miss the wave dash timing, you only get the jump cancelled shine that, if not punishable, at least puts you in disadvantage on whiff and on block, and even on hit can cut away the more optimal combo routes. Just like the electric, the shine also shows its true merits when it's fused with movement. Wave shine front and back, ledge dash shine, shine waveland, running shine, all these techniques and more really mirror the use of the electric. Other moves Kazuya and Falco share are a legend kick, an axe kick launcher that in Falco's case is upside down, although that is in Tekken as well, and a spinning kick move that not only is notorious and annoying to deal with, also bolsters the archetype relation. Kazuya's and Falco's are usually a big chunk of damage, while Heihachi's and Fox's are multi-hit. Then there's the game plan of the characters. Both Falco and Kazuya try to be as hard to approach as possible, building walls for the opponent to push through. Kazuya does this with the electric, jabs, and good counter-hit tools. Falco, on the other hand, uses his lasers to pin down and cripple the opponent's approach options. Once the opponent is hesitating or makes a mistake, they can switch gears and set up a mix-up or get a devastating punish. With good positioning and movement, they can hit their best move in and get a big combo with lots of damage behind it. So while the playstyle can wildly vary between the players, essentially both want to play defensive and turtle a bit, but when they see an opening, the gorilla takes over and all hell breaks loose. Tekken and Smash rarely, if ever, have had much crossover between communities, even though both have one big connecting factor: their games.
That's not possible. Anything is possible. Tough break, kid.
The similarities between the games, and most of all, their histories, are undeniable. Well, gameplay-wise, they both emphasize in movement and punishing, whether it's whiffs, bad approaches, etc. Combos can hit like a truck, and mistakes cost you a fortune. Unlike traditional 2D games, the stages can actually matter a lot on the outcome. And since Tekken World Tour gave the option to manually select and counterpick a stage, that aspect is also shared between the games. Tekken players clown on Smash for being an easy children's party game while boasting about their game's difficulty. But any Tekken player should know that Tekken is also one of the most casual-friendly fighting games, catering to such a crowd with lots of goofy extra modes, side activities, and while hard to master, easy to pick up gameplay.
Why did I not?
Beginners can look up some strings and throw out moves without difficult inputs. Even combos are more accessible than in other games. History time. Both series have had a long road up to this point. But what kind of road? Well, Tekken 1 was released in 1994 and landed on consoles in 1995. Tekken 2 had a similar cycle from 1995 to 1996. The first Smash was released in 1999, so a bit later, but the nature of the games is similar. Tekken 1 and 2 don't differ that much, so I'm putting both of them on that same slot. These games are the rough cut starts of the series. Both games have a small roster of fighters, damage and combos are astronomical, character balance is thrown out the window, and there's only one stage to play in the tournament. Smash because only Dreamland is viable, and Tekken 1 and 2 only have infinite stages, so no technical variety there. But while old and busted, these games are still fondly remembered after all this time as the great grandfathers of the lineage. In the next slot, we have Tekken 3 and Tag, and Melee. Tekken 3 and Melee are maybe the most iconic ones of the series. Results may vary, but no one can deny the impact these games had. Here movement is more fleshed out and smooth. It's snappy and probably the fastest it's gonna be. Melee and Tekken Tag are seen as the realization points and purest of their form. Combos, movement, punishment, it all feels right. Don't get me wrong, there's still a truckload of wonky stuff, and the balance is a mess. Viability drops drastically between tiers, making anything below mid-tier borderline unplayable. I mean, you can still play, but you better be quick on your feet because those low-tier trenches are filling up with lead fast. More casual content is also added with Tekken Force and Tekken Bowl, and Melee with Adventure Mode and Home Run Contest, to name a few. These games are also the points on the road where the competitive crowd and the tournament scene gets its proper birth. And after this, we have Tekken 4 and Smash Brawl. While solid visually and in terms of content and story, these games were an odd detour and eventually divided the communities in half. Both games nerfed movement and combos heavily. While roster size really differs, the theme is the same. There's a top tier with new characters, playable tier, and the rest.
Come on!
These games did see tournament play and had their audience, but a lot of people preferred the previous iterations, fast movement and big punishes, and kept on playing that, waiting for a better tomorrow. And so sun rose, and tomorrow arrived. Well, for others at least. Here's the point where the line split. While Tekken 5 went back to formula and embraced the older titles, switching back to fast movement and big combos, solidifying this type of gameplay as the heart of the game, Smash 4 didn't. It did change a lot to make gameplay more aggressive, but it was a far cry from Melee and would never return to the form it once had. I know I sound like a sad Melee player, and I am in a way. I'm not bashing on Smash 4 or Ultimate, and I do appreciate the gameplay they offer, but I would be lying if I said I didn't wish for mechanics more reminiscent of Melee on newer games. So, that's it? Is this where we part ways for good?
I'm a cloud of fire!
That's when I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
Arigatou gozaimasu!
Or so some people thought when Project M came out. A community modded version of Brawl that brings back techniques and makes the movement fast and snappy like Melee. So you can kinda think of Project M as a separate path for Smash. A path that aligns its way back together with Tekken, because just like Tekken 5, Project M combines the mechanics of the golden oldie with newcomers from the new weirdo shit. Again, nothing personal, fellas, just business. It's all it ever is. After Tekken 5, it's generally said that every game since is just a new version of Tekken 5. New characters, new moves, new ways to combo and break your opponent's kneecaps. And just like Tekken 5, you could say the same thing about later patches of Project M and eventually Project Plus. And now due to the rise of modding Melee itself, versions like Akanea and Beyond Melee could also be seen as the road mingling with Tekken's. It's all there. New characters, moves, stages, skins, better training mode, Akuma, rollback. Ah shit. Guess that's it then. Anyways, no matter how you look at things, Smash and Tekken are completely different games. I mean, look at this. Maybe if you squint enough and force your will upon it violently, you can make them hold hands and walk together.